collective energy reading. Please only take what resonates. Always leave the rest for the best. Don't stress. Because somebody could be gaining higher clarity, seeing you as that sun, listening to their self, the higher God within inside of them. That's when you're encompassing emotions, looking at the mysteries to your story. And that's when you're looking at those difficult experiences that you've had to encompass when you're in Hangman. That's when you're looking at the mysteries, and that's looking at those karmic cycles, the secrets, things that was in the unknown, even about yourself, your values, what you was valuing, what you didn't value, and then you start getting to that routine check. Connect, stand in that feminine energy, have compassion for yourself and start using your intuitions. That's when you're looking at that personal trust, what you have within oneself. How was you being creative? Who was you being creative with? Who was you speaking to? Those dynamics. When you start speaking to yourself, you get that higher clarity, you get in tune, listen to your heart. Otherwise you get stressed and you're in your head and it's making assumptions, it's creating stories, and it's true issues, it's showing. When you're not using those intuitions, and when you start doing, you look at the mysteries, and that's trusting when you're in that owl spirit, and that's that oneness. Look inwards, and that's unrevealing, unveiling all the hidden things. That's the mysteries. It's allowing you to surface those emotions, bringing it to the water. La 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 la. So you have to bring it up because you're that butterfly, you like that breeze, and that's still checking. Someone's still checking on you, because I come to you on this blissness night to cool your sweat, to lay your pride. I am that lover. I am the sea. You know my name. You know my name. I am the breeze. When you're rolling through this grass, what you got to ask yourself, because now it's that time has passed. Da 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 da. And you have to talk to yourself, that spirit in your mind. Use those intuitions, because when you're sweeping, it's that sound, and it's that sound on a bitter sea. And when you're moving through those waters and it's bringing those emotions, it's giving you that clarity. You have to balance those thoughts, because you know my name. I am the breeze. La 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 la. Because you're the breeze. Somebody can see you're that breeze in somebody's life. It's like Uman Ra. Amen Ra. It's just that mythical figure. You're that symbolic representation. That's around that memory. It's centering that brain. Somebody's connecting. It's that direct corresponse, like that horn. Hippocampus. So that's your hippocampus, your set of your mind, your thoughts, your feelings. That's that left and that right side. That's awakening. That's that Lamb of God. That's mentioned terminally what you speak in the Bible. And that's that computer RAM, just like on a computer scale. You're the lamb, you're the ram, you're ramming that information. You're that one who's progressing and digesting that interconnected. That's that knowledge. You're looking at the new situations from damage. You're looking at that hippocampus, and you're moving, and that's the severity. And you're looking at that ability to form new memories. That's leaving those old ones, that long-term memory, that reality. When you have to let go, you have to gain that clarity, you have to evolve, you have to look back on the people who hurt you, have compassion, care and nurture towards yourself to be able to grow, get out of that mindset, encompass the mysteries to your story, because that's when you're looking, you're like that phoenix, you're like that Egypt, you're rising, awakening, that within inside of you. That's that hippocampus, guys. Obviously, I couldn't get it out first. So you have to connect, because that's that high clarity in your mind. When you get those downloads, it comes to you, through you, for you. It's from that divine, because that's for us all. When you're connected to your heart, it's about the structures, your foundations, those emotional factors stemming all the way back. Childhood, 408, that's when you was born. And when you look from your ancestors, you get divinely guided. You have to connect. That's that great inspiration within inside of you. Who was you being loyal? Are you being creative? Are you using those intuitions? Getting that high introspection. 501s when people are blocking you. 4, so you haven't got that spiritual awareness, so you're not able to connect to your heart. So people are causing you stress and conflict, so you can't have that high clarity and that discernment, because the actions that people take and you're not listening to that spirit and the divine, what's trying to be able to speak towards you. People are blocking it with great action. You have to hold yourself tight, because when people are trying to use passion and courageous, stubborn, trying to control you because of that mindset, that's like masculine, feminine energy, arguing, shouting, looking back because you haven't got manners, there's no respect. Then you have to see people, police, higher services need to get called, because that's seeking the truth. Who's causing stress? Who's what? The one who's blocking? Who was lying before trying to die? Being a fool in that death. So you can see being a fool, arguing, shouting, aggressive energy, acting, no compassion, no love, stress happening in that property, childlike spirit, all illusions and confusions, all because there was not looking at you, there was creating people acting with stress and conflict when they're communicating, not nurturing. They need nurturing. Certain people aren't providing that support because it's controlling assumptions, thoughts and feelings. They thought they was being a fool when they was trying to block you. Now they could see they may be having arguments. The police are getting called. They want to take a fool, get to that new beginning because they're seeing that death. And that's what you have to end that cycle. And you look at that mysteries, you're transforming your mind. When people cause you stress and conflict, try to block you with great passion and aggression, all because it was being vain, lies. And you know when you do things for attractions and you don't realise what you're attracting, and you're attracting all that stress. And then you look and you have to look for the mysteries because that's Pisces, that higher mind. People blocking you so you wasn't having compassion. That's controlling you with great aggression. That's where you're not connecting like a father, mother figure, husband. So that's when you're creating an expression chart like stress, conflict, being a fool, blocking people from moving, stepping forward, going to new beginnings, not looking at that aspect of yourself, your mind, with clarity. 3 of Wands, aspect of yourself with your mind, clarity, for you to be able to travel, for you to move, for you to get that inner standing. Certain people may be looking and want to be able to travel and can't move. They're blocked spiritually, mentally and emotionally. People are trying to control with fear, money, lack mindset. That's when you're looking because their habits it stems from childhood. Was you being stubborn? Who was controlling? Who was causing aggression? Who had that ego? Who I was being in that narcissistic paradigm mindset? Who was not enables people to be able to grow and get that inner standing because that was the data when you bring in the information. And that's you looking at that high profound connection. It's between that celestial body and your inner standing of your brain, that function. Not got there to follow her heart, not her mind. Don't get me wrong, I love me some divine feminine, divine masculine, but sometimes she can be a little off. Well, yeah, they're looking at because they're looking at dedicated. They know that they can't dysfunction your mind because you're spiritually, mentally and emotionally blocked. There's boundaries in place. They maybe want to be able to come towards you. They can see they've got to use their creative skills to be able to get towards you because they know you're not playing. You know divine feminine, she's unapologetic, which is one of the things I love about her. She keeps me on my toes and I just need that time to do it right. They need to be able to try and come and trick you, so they maybe want to be able to come and trick you now. They're trying to be like, great, they're trying to look now, coming with a force. They're trying to use their intuitions. They're trying to act, maybe seeking knowledge because they know there's boundaries in place. They need to be able to effectively communicate. They may need to be able to come and be able to clear their throat chakra, speak with confidence, be self-assured. They can't come with that fiery. They might try and come and try and woo you, confuse you, try maybe wanting to be able to come higher, like they're taking that leadership skills. Maybe try and block you so you're not spiritually, like you don't really see the actions and all the frustrations, what they've got going on in that background. Because they can see that devil energy. There's a school there. So things that's in that unknown because they was doing spell work. Such a coincidence. He booked long time, got family here. So I work, stay with the karmic, my best friend. So they're going to let you know they was being creative. They was working and staying with that karmic, acting. You're going to seek knowledge and information. So they was living in that place, thought they was being a fool, death. Now they're having stress and conflict because they was working. External energies too, for fear, for money, security, for a service, health issues. Was creative. They could have even had a child and a family and providing that service, holding on because of a child. 3. You could be gaining clarity. There was in a childlike spirit, external energies. 9. They can see they thought they was going for that joy. You're going to see high awareness. They're going to seek information. They may seek information about a child as well. They could see for those being a fool, art, socializing, external energies with other people. Because there was a fool, we can have a drink or two with a little food. So they thought there was being a fall. Childlike spirit, not thinking, gambling, taking risks, eat food, things in the unknown. Red or pink hearts. So they was not moving. Was it red or pink hearts when people thought they was being creative? So they was moving with red hearts. They wasn't moving with the pink hearts, because the pink heart was that clarity, that was that short one. They tried to give you that short stick. They was moving with things that you can say. People who was acting, lying, programming them within their mind, because they wasn't looking at it. It was that impurities. They didn't look at those parts. They wasn't processing. They didn't have that ongoing store to utilize those memories and that thoughts in a positive way, or because of their ego. And they're now looking, it's that phoenix rising, it's that momentum, it's situated. They're looking now because it's like, they feel like they're in Gaza, stress. Like, you know, when you have that great pyramid and you have to look, because it's that frontal part of that lobe, and you have to look at that individual state. They could be even looking at DNA. DNA could have to be able to take a child DNA test. I want to know the truth. Stop second questioning her. So they maybe want to know about the truth when there was childlike spirit, if they slept with a friend. That child theirs, my house, my wife. So my house, my wife, those rules, they want to know the truth. Dominating over resources, thoughts, feelings, opinions, assumptions, speculating, service, who was providing the service, who was doing what. Because that's when you're looking back to that love, family, that's looking at about the responsibilities, who that day-to-day duty, whose employees, your health, that day-to-day approach of creating, working. This Emperor, stress, 8, low dense energy, illusions, mind, psychological aspects. They're connected to their emotions, getting that high clarity. They're trying to ground themselves now, because you're going to see they was holding on to golden calves, and their mindset, illusional confusion because of the secrets that they had in the unknown. Now they're looking back to the mysteries of their story, because that's a part of that paradigm, the ancient secrets. They're looking at those responsibilities. It's that quest for that spiritual intelligence, that ascension for go, to transform. Because that was their mindset, what they lacked. Ace of Pentacles, their mindset was towards money, low, running through those low chakras. That was like deadly sins. They didn't have boundaries. They didn't know how to maintain their mindset, and because they moved through that fight and flight mode. They're saying they work with her, 5 of Swords, 5 of Wands, 10. It's conflict, stress, instability. Like people was acting, speaking, creating conflict. No structures, no firm foundations. Nobody's lacked compassion. So they're seeing that conflict, because when they was being a fool, they wasn't connecting to their emotions. That red or pink hearts, they wasn't listening to that red or pink hearts. Now people try to block you, and they're blocked in their mind. It's caused them stress and conflict because they wasn't connecting. You know, you're not encompassing, looking at the mistress. And that's like your public legacy, father figure, your emperor, you're in your home, in your stability, your structures. And that's how people hold you in public. So people could be seeing them, the way how they're stressed, and they could be acting all courageous and shouting, feeling shamed. Because that's that combination now. It's how people socially see you, that divine will, when you're standing trying to get the authority. They could be gaining higher wisdom now because they're having stress, this emperor. Because when there was being a fool, that red pill or that night pill, they're having anxiety. They took that pink pill. Because when they was being a fool, now they're having all anxiety. Because when you get that higher clarity and awareness, that's that higher house of Gods. When people was blocking you, when you're looking at that righteous action, they weren't taking that righteous action because now they're having that death. All of a sudden, they're needing that temperament, because you start looking, your ego, your pride, now I am, and I feel, and how I was acting. So they can see that death. I want to know the truth. Stop second questioning me. Stop second guessing. Stop checking question about this child, the mindset, this feminine energy, who's speaking, the judgmental, who's watching who, 14. Because now they can see that balance, that emotions. Who do you love? Are you for sure? In that art departure. There's too many cards here, way too many. They want to depart because they're connected to their emotions. They're gathering this death. 3 of Wands. Now they want to travel towards you. They're connected to their heart, to a Pentacles emotion. They want to be able to come in quick and fast. So they're having this death. Because my wife, my house. 3 of Cups. Stress, conflict, emotions. That's when you have to say, oh, stress and anxiety happening. They're on that karmic cycle. Now they're gaining that higher clarity, connecting to their art and their emotions. Tower movements happening. This emperor, this empress, because we're causing now, they may have to five stress, arguments, acting out, karmic cycle, being a fool, 9 anxiety, police, high awareness, seeking guidance about these children, stress causing people speaking, tower about this home, stability, the structures. Now you need to start looking back to yourself about the choices that you made. You're looking at spiritual, higher awareness. They could be wanting to be able to connect now, because that's when you look back to the choices and the relationships and those partners, and you get that higher clarity. They're getting that enlightenment, tower taking place, because you are that joy, you are that sun, you was that clarity. And their emperor, you just got the short end of the stick. So you got that short end of the stick. Told you. You have the mentality. They're looking now because bro, mother, daughter and father say they didn't say. You had that high clarity. They were spiritually, mentally and emotionally blocked. Sure, lots of personality. Though just stress tried never occurred to me. Bipolar. So they got bipolar. So they could have bipolar. Stress, mind problems, neurological, psychological, emotional factors where they're not connecting. They can see now it's stemmed, it's rooted, ancestral karma. That's right, deep stress, anxiety, emotional, chronic stress, heartache, hurt and pain. That's when you're not sentimental, you're not sensitive to your own needs. So you can't be sensitive to other people because you're on that cycle, obsessive, quick. You like, your subconscious mind don't want to transform and change. It's like letting go of grief and sadness, conflict. So they could be acting around other people and putting that show face on. That's when they have that mask on and you're one way, and when you're out in the public you're acting like you've got firm foundations. Meanwhile you got your ego and your pride and your drive to act, and you ain't got, always in your mind thinking stress. You mean the world to me. No matter how far I travel or how long I'm gone, I will always miss you. I miss us. So they could be looking back towards you. See now when there was a fall and they wasn't like flighting detached from their emotions, and that was going on, like they wasn't connecting towards you. They could see you're eccentric. They're using their imaginations now. Don't be gone, divine masculine. I might get married by the time you're back. So you could have told them, don't be gone, divine masculine. I might be married by the time you back. By the time they come back, you're at that 10. You've gone to your fulfillment. They can see they didn't have that discipline structures. And now they're honouring you because you went to that difficult experiences that was private parts of that reality. They could be looking at you now and feeling that loss. Because that's that oneness. It's that awe and that wonder. Why didn't I? Now they're having conflict in their mind because they spiritually, mentally and emotionally blocked themselves. Now that caused them anxiety, all because of their anxiety when they was being a fool. My sister, you're right. You should be by my maid of honor. So they could be saying, right, you could be saying to your sister, you're right, you should be my maid of honor. Get married. Will you marry me? You don't want to propose to me, so I'll propose. So someone, a feminine, could be asking the masculine, will you marry me? You don't want to ask me to marry, so I'm going to propose. They could be thinking that was a shock to them. They could feel like they're acting. That masculine, feminine, standing in their masculine energy. Your wife has to answer you if it's her partner. If she's a partner. What you think? I'm on drugs. So people could be on, and you can see those out the way how they're acting and the way how they're speaking, going off crazy, their mental capacity shouting an explosion. Then we got that discernment, causing conflict and stress because the choices are now they're working, and you can see because the mental capacity of their mind in their head. This happiness hater that's around them, acting. This emperor, they're now reflecting back, connecting to their emotions. That's that transformative tape. Too late to say sorry, I regrets now. I'm never posted that they want to say sorry. They was around people that was talking shit. They maybe want to be able to come and have an offer. You may think they're talking shit because they've got this anxiety. That's when they're not spiritually and emotionally balanced. Respect levels, they haven't grown. And gossip behind your back. Spreading lies, something in your face. So they could have been telling lies about you, how you was acting, how you was the one who was causing stress and conflict. You didn't have no love and compassion. You didn't have the genuine intentions. You wasn't the real one. Meanwhile, you're shining and radiating the truth. You were speaking truth about these loves, and when people are taking choices behind family, friends, they was being a fool in that devil energy cry, trying to take control, aggressive. They was competing against you. You was independent. Certain people was blocking you because they was enthusiastic with great aggression, or because of their aggressive state of mind. They didn't know how to control themselves because I am. They didn't realize you was that sun, that raw. You was enlightening people because you was that iconic momentum. It was situated right near that great pyramid. They didn't understand when you have that higher clarity and that awakening. They were separated from their self because that was that fearing. And they was creating that soft spot that was to gradually awaken. And it's like when you're a child and you got to grow up, and it's typically like 19 months or 19 years, and you have to go, keep going and get that high clarity, because that 1 and 9 is looking at yourself, connecting to that God within inside of you. It's that heightened state of awareness, and it's what you've got that complete trust in. And it stems from your ancestors. It's connected, and it's you have to click, and you have to have balance. And it's that spiritual awakening. It's that cranium bone. It's metaphorically opening again. It's symbolizing that profound enlightenment in regards to who you are. Connect to the heart, those emotions. Gives you a Tao moment because you're connected to that higher God within inside of you. It's that pineal gland. It's like a kundalini arising and awakening. That's when you're encompassing. And it's passive reality when you wasn't really actually connecting, thinking, because you're spiritually, mentally and emotionally blocked, because you didn't know about when your mindset and you're institutionalized within your mind. You're out here busy winning. They can see, remember, they can see you are that sun, the star. You're shining, you're busy winning. That was because you were standing in that Empress energy. You let go, you went towards those new beginnings. When people's trying to cause you stress and instability, blocking you, you transformed. That was about you having that harmony and balance, even when you was in a community. You seen about Geminis and Virgos, family members and friends. You had that quick mind, quick thinking. You had creative skills to be able to connect. You wasn't able to be able to have that discernment. You was creative. You seen about family members and friends, the way how they spoke. There was restless, judgmental, controlling, illusions causing confusions, giving anxiety. That's conflict within one's mind. That's when you have to transform, look at yourself and your attitude, and look at those firm structures yours, because that was a mystery to your story. Otherwise, people will continuously keep blocking you and stopping you because it's emotional factors, emotional triggers. You're going to trigger when you're meeting certain people, illusions, confusions. People are there for a reason. You've got to grow. It's encompassing emotions. If not, you're going to be stuck. And if you don't look back towards yourself, you're going to be in that mind, that 4 of swords, conflicted. Because you're not even aware you got it. It's within you. So they wasn't aware they had it. It was within them to have that love, that compassion, listen to the spirit, their heart, their mind, connect to that higher. End of sad cycles. The world changes, joy, peace, love, infinite fulfillment, something positive. That's when you have to start reflecting. It's that infinite cycle within inside of you to encompass the mysteries to your story. Blonde hair, high clarity, blonde hair, connect to the divine, awakening, speak truth, be wise, gain knowledge, have balance. That's when you're being true, authentic self. Was providing that comfort zone, this karmic or who, whatever, trying to give or provide stability, relative prosperity, but didn't look complacency, feeling all smug and satisfied with their self, looking like that divine growth they had and was doing when you was around. They wasn't being vigilant at lost spiritual discipline they had when you was around. Couldn't keep up the act. They wasn't acknowledging your importance. They made your relationship become weak. Hearing, deceiving, spiritual emotions, mutuality, to their mentality, and they muted it to be able to not hear it because they was blocking it. Listening to the spirit. to grow. We bonded on our own issues, but we love. So they bonded on own issues, anxiety, stress, there was being a fool. You represented the biggest fear. So you represented the biggest fear to these divine feminines, the masculines. You derailed them to connect to that higher consciousness, that awakening. You just like looked at them and identified about their ego, their attitude, their approach. They lacked stability, their mindset institutionalized within their mind, spiritually, mentally, and emotionally blocked, didn't want to be able to grow. You wasn't able to be able to shine. They lack compassion. They didn't have to be creative, taking care of all your needs. So you wasn't able to be able to take care of their needs. They lacked compassion. They wasn't creative. The way you spoke, there was two-faced. They wasn't able to use their intuitions and make positive choices. They was flighty, detached from their emotions. Or because when they was around groups, the way they showed themselves. You was that great manifester, fighting over money that ain't theirs. So they was fighting over money that ain't even theirs. 3, money, banks, loans, assets. 8, so they could be going to court now fighting over money for that's not theirs. Inheritances. You had to gain understanding. My nose starts itching. They wasn't using their intuitions. F could be significant because they didn't have that faith. And what have you learned, seen, saw, identify, recognize, analyze? So now they're reflecting. What have they learned, seen, saw, identify, recognize, analyze? Because that's looking, even if you feel angry with this person, because you are human lie detector. So you as a human lie detector, you seen when these was telling these lies and wasn't speaking that truth, you block them. You seen about the structures of foundations, you have that discernment. They saying you was organized, you was cautious of the ear. Because they want you to now, you didn't react like they wanted you to. They came testing you. They was a page after all. Kids, childlike, being a fool, they didn't understand because they wasn't discerning. Don't let things elect and even resolve the conflicts. Don't allow any anger to linger. So if you still feel triggered in yourself, go back to the healing table. Give your head a wobble. Identify why. So now they're having anxiety, back at that healing table, getting higher clarity, introspection, just avoiding behaviors that could be harmful. Your growth. You have come too far to tolerate crap for the devil to work. From these family members and friends causing you conflict, stress, when you're out socializing, talking about you, blocking you, trying to give you anxiety, want to fight you, like you got that lying mindset, like everything's not going to be all right. You listen to your spiritual guys. The Most High God says, no woman, no cry. Because you have to identify, remember, you are the breeze, spiritually guided, flowing through this grass. That's the love will pass and things will pass and things won't hurt you. With the divided, guided, when you've got that inner peace, because they have to be taking responsibility, sharing that need, highlighting anything important with that compassion and care, and show that transformative journey of that spiritual growth and that spiritual maturity. No longer living selfishly in a way. The Most High is that place and it's that bliss one. So they need to be able to connect, get higher. She wants your divine masculine feminine. So one of them family members, them friends, somebody in their community who's acting up, who wants to be able to go and play smart. That could be May. It could be a Leo. It could be Taurus. It could be Virgo. It could be Scorpio. It could be a Gemini. Or it could be a Pisces. It could be 7 August. What's that? July, August, why can't I get it out? August. Well, what's in August? It's either a Leo or a Virgo. One of those two energies want to be trying to tamper and rample with you. Or, yeah, July. One of them Jezebel spirits. Family members or a friend. Somebody in your community, their community. They had some intercourse with, they took a full great leap of faith, put themselves back on a karmic cycle. Just wasn't listening to their self, spiritually, mentally blocked. She wants your divine masculine feminine, so that's why. Because they was on that Jacob, now that ladder, that's that hickory dickory dock. They was on that serpent, it's that splinter. Or that heel catcher. It's a struggle with God. That was that journey. It's personal growth. It's importance of severity. Looking at those relationships within you and the divine. So now that's Tower moment. Just being honest. You was just being real. You was listening to your intuitions, mastering your story, because you're that queen who's got that vibes. You have that harmony and stability, and that was that flow, purification. You was that rooted and vitality manifested stem that way. Reflections, and that's you get introspection. When you are that queen who's got the vibe, you got the secret. You got the keys to that other way. When people was being two-faced and they were spiritually blind, you got spiritually, mentally, and emotionally connected to break free to that divine, because that was limitless potential, skills, high connected. You went to the far right, you evolved, you grew. You see when people try to block you, stop you connected to the divine. You got that oneness within oneself, because you allowed yourself, rumor has it, that the Most High, that was you, that was that distance, wraps that tail. It's a rotation, it's turning, it's real, because you had these receipts. So you can see people have got a social awareness of you. They could be stressing and arguing because people are looking at you, watching you, seeking information, how you're moving. They could be acting when they're at home, acting a fool. It's committed, and that's that commitment call to the divine, to your heart. And you have to look about that fool, take that leap about these relationships. They maybe want to be able to travel towards you because they're in their emotions. That's when you're encompassing that cosmology, connecting to the divine, transforming, changing. Because people will be blocking you, this marriage, this wedding. You're going to see the decree chime, because that's when you get the high awakening. Child, they was holding on for a child. So that was what was blocking them. TRG, passion, blocking the mindset, justice, homicide. That's when you have to check oneself, one's mind, one's thoughts, one's feelings, because now they see. What do they see? They see you happy, contented, and you on the rise up. Now smile, because you're shining, you're out here too busy winning. Now they're reflecting and getting introspection. Opportunities for you, many doors to be opened just for you. That's that commitment call, justice, still checking on you. Because this wedding, drama loop, so they're releasing that drama loop because they could be a wedding and getting that high clarity now, because that's that two-faced awakening spiritually, mentally, that going down that aisle, that yin, that yang. That's like the sun, I am, I feel. So they could be I am, I feel. They could have got married. They may be now feeling marrying themselves, getting that spiritual awakening, because the same patterns keep returning. The lessons, they're releasing that because they was in a childlike spirit. They could have had a child. They could have blocked them for a child. Look in reverse. Emotional roller coaster, because they're looking now that feel. They're feeling that deceit, that love, that drop. That child might not have been theirs. They could be having an emotional roller coaster now because of the DRGOS. Shade parade. They was blocked spiritually, mentally, low vibes, lies. They was lying, speaking lies about this child. That child might not even be theirs. They could be feeling stressed. They may have to go to court because they're gaining higher clarity about this child in the service, this relationship. The child might not be theirs. So they want to tell you, romance and love. Right path. So you was on that right path. Love is beautiful. The journey, and you're the right path. Adventure. So they maybe want to be able to take adventure towards you now. That's that passion. Ooh. Voids. Voids rushing to be able to fill voids with love. Seek inner fulfillment first. You had to seek that inner fulfillment. You took that venture towards your right path. You let go. You had love for yourself. You had to protect yourself. Evolve. That was when you seen those voids. You gain higher clarity, introspection about cross-cultural, different religions, backgrounds, the way people communicate. That's their mindset. They maybe want to be able to come and travel towards you now. Quick and fast. Fast energy. They may become with aggression, passive, passion. But you put in closures. Not all connections are meant to be accepted. Closure, because that's when you have to nurture yourself, and that's nurturing your relationships. Like blooming flowers, they will flourish. They can see there's energetic lies. Energy don't lie. You got introspection about these divine feminines, masculines, the intentions, and it shows. These divine feminines and masculines, they're around people, they can see their energy don't lie. To make it through life, you have to transform to make it through obstacles. So they could be transforming now, closing certain things, coming back to give you passion. They had voice. They're seeking that adventure. Maybe want to seek it together with you because love is beautiful. No one lolls at me. Lol at me. I loll at me. So no one laughs at you. You laugh at you. Because if you don't laugh at you, bloody hell, you'll stress yourself out. Because you wear your sword. Speak and manifest. Your belt of truth. Your breastplate of righteousness. The gospel of peace. And your shield of complete trust. That's that Hamlet, salvation, and that's that sword of that spirit. It's guiding and helping and assisting you, those divine feminines, masculines, family members, as well as friends. B, stopping up their armor. That's putting on their shoes for that gospel of peace. Those divine feminines, masculines, family members, as friends. Know they need that belt to be able to come with that honesty, integrity, and faithfulness in their life and their faith, just as you had. You have your complete trust in that divine. That's your breastplate, and that's for your protection. It's offered for you for that living. That was you looking at vigilantly, righteously, those shields, your heart, and that was that complete trust from the divine. And those shoes, you have yours on ready. Share the message of the divine gospel to be able to bring peace. Stand firm. Those divine feminines, masculines, family members, as well as friends, be speaking the good news. Shield, deflecting those fiery attacks of the enemy. Hamlet, protecting your mind, thoughts, feelings. Remember your own salvation and hope. Sword of the Spirit, the word of the Most High, divine source, your powerful defensive weapon against those spiritual attacks from the townhouse, Jezebel, with conflicting bitches. No game, no shame, in their name. Take this all as it resonates. But remember, you are the breeze. You're just rolling through this grass. You know that love won't last. If it's not right, if it's right, you're like that Elohim, it'll come back towards you. E could be significant. D could be significant. Deputy. They could be gulping. The deed, deep. You see how it's deep, that deep love. You could be like a guru. Glue. You're like that glue. Oh. They may be calling the Poe. They can see you've got that God, highly divinely spirit. Oh, why they're all dropping? That was an M. We're going to keep it. It's an M. I can't go and get it. S. You could have been a mule, muse. You could be their muse. Ooh. J. They may be looking jealous of you. Does. Go. Joel. Joel. Soul. They're saying it's deep. I can feel it goes deep down in my soul. They're saying G. I. Look, people are unaliving, transforming. H. House. So they may come to your house. They could be talking about dope. People jealous. Gel. Giz. Someone could be saying giz the dope. Someone could be having hope. Because they're connecting to their soul. Some people could be on the dole. Jail. Take this all as it resonates, guys. Always leave the rest for the best. No bother stress, my G's.